So I just bought a new car, and there is a problem, not with my car, but with parking it in the garage, that I wanted to try to fix from my old car. Now, the other car that I had this issue, that is with the tailgate. And so what would happen is I would open up the tailgate, so you can see this opening up. I might have my golf stuff in here, I might have groceries that are in here, and so I'd come and I'd unload it. Usually, you know, if I had a big load of groceries, take a couple of trips into the house. Here's the problem. The problem is I would forget that the tailgate was up, and then I've got a remote control in the garage. I would hit the remote control, and where you can see it right here, the garage door would hit the car door and would scratch it all up. So a couple of things happened with my old car. The garage door pushed the tailgate down like this, put a big scrape down the side of the car, and then it was down like this, and then when it was kind of wedged up against the garage door, and then I didn't realize that it was like that, and I opened the garage door, and when it did, the tailgate actually pushed the garage door out. So not only did I do damage to the car, I did damage to the garage door. And this didn't happen just once, it happened multiple times as I owned the car. I am determined with the new car that I am not going to let that happen. Now you might say, you know, and this happens in business as well. A lot of times in business, there'll be a problem that occurs, and the problem causes real damage. It might, be a safety issue. It might cause damage to the product, and so a manager might say to an employee, "Well, I mean, if you really cared, then you'll just remember to do it every time. It's not that hard." Like, I mean, with this, is it really that hard to remember to put the tailgate down before I close the garage? Doesn't seem like it's that hard, but it did happen several times. You might say, well, you know, you really don't care about our equipment. You don't care about the things that you have to. I mean, this is my car. This is my garage. This is real expense if I end up doing harm to this. People might say, well, you just need to pay better attention. Just pay more attention, go slow. But you know, when things happen, like when it's raining outside and you're trying to get the groceries in, and you can't really hear or see what's going on when you run into the house, it's really easy to kind of forget in the middle of things, especially as it becomes a habit, forget that the tailgate is up and still make the garage door come down. So I thought about this for a while and thought, how can I figure out a way to Poka Yoke this so that it never happens again? And I don't know that I have a true Poka Yoke. It does require some action on my part. I think it's pretty good. So I'm going to put it together, and then I'm going to show you what I've got. All right, so let me tell you what I did. So I just took this piece of wood that I happen to have in the garage. I painted it gold, just because I happen to have gold spray paint. And I put a note on here that says tailgate up, and then some instructions that are written on it. It goes right here, right in the center, right behind my car. Now, I will tell you, I did use visual management lines around this. Not necessary, but I did put it there because I thought sometimes my car is going to be out of the garage and I'm going to want to just toss this back and make sure that it's in the center of where the back of my car is. That's why I put that there. Not necessary though. The important part of the Poka Yoke is this board. Now this board gets in my way. When I go to get groceries out of the car and I take the tailgate up, you know, it's kind of awkward standing on this thing. And so what I do is I take the board and move it out of the way. Now where I move it is over here in front of the garage door sensor. And so when it's over in front of the garage door sensor, here's the garage door opener, the garage door won't close. Okay, so you didn't see this, there's a little flashing light going on right now because there's an error because the garage door sensor is covered. So what'll happen is I'll unload the car, tailgate will be up, board will be in front of here. I unload the car, and then once I'm done unloading the car and I put the tailgate back down, this board goes back in the center here so that when I hit the button, the garage door comes down, just like that. It's all the way down in my head, huh? So this has been a Poka Yoke for me. I will tell you that it has already worked for me. One time I had a big load of groceries, took a bunch of stuff into the house, and this was in front of the sensor. I hit the little button, and the garage door didn't come down because the sensor was covered. So already it's worked. Really enjoying this. Didn't cost me a thing. So it's not a perfect Poka Yoke because it doesn't necessarily happen automatically. It does take some action on my part, but it is a part of my process because it gets in my way, forces me to kind of have to move it over in front of the sensor whenever I open the tailgate to remind myself to make sure that the tailgate is down before I try to close the garage door.